and then I will take your questions. The Women's Reservation Bill is a long-awaited judgment, on the empowerment of women, a long-awaited legislation that has been passed. We welcome its passage. We obviously have serious issues with how delayed it's going to be, because this looks like yet another tall promise that may not see the fruition of day. You never know when it happens. According to the government's own admission, it will not happen before 2029. According to what some MPs and ministers of the government have said in the House, it's linked to delimitation and census, and delimitation of 2026, according to Article 82 and 81(3) of the Constitution, cannot happen before the census of 2031. So realistically speaking, are we going to wait up until 2039? Because it looks like there was a carrot that was dangled for the women of this country, and then they were told, wait and wait for much longer. And of course, not a word on women coming in from the backward classes, something that we have been completely talking about, the backward castes completely missing. But what is missing most, and I want to say here, when a woman gets elected to parliament, and parliament is our highest decision-making body, when a woman gets elected to parliament, each one of us expects her to speak against injustice meted out to other women, to speak against gruesome crime that happens to other women, to speak for fairness for other women, to speak for equality, to speak for justice, and most of all, to speak for women to be empowered. I saw a picture. It's a beautiful picture, actually. It's a picture of BJP's women MPs. They all thronged around Mr. Modi, congratulating him after the Women's Reservation Bill was passed. It's a picture that makes all of us happy. I was very happy to see this picture. But the moment I thought about how each one of these women, not one, not two, but each one of these smiling faces have kept conspicuously quiet each time a gruesome crime has happened against some woman or the other across the country, it hangs my head in shame. Because I was expecting that women like them, and they are the most empowered, the most powerful women of this country, elected to the highest decision-making body, that is India's parliament. They kept quiet each time incidents of crime happened to women across the country. And so I expect that new members of parliament, new women who will be elected to our legislatures, are not going to keep quiet when an 8-year-old is going to be drugged, brutally raped and murdered in Katwa. She is not going to stand up for those who are perpetrators of this crime. She is going to ask for justice, unlike what these women did. I do hope that the new MPs who are women who get elected are not going to keep quiet when Kuldeep Sengar is found guilty, not charged, but guilty of rape and murder. They're not going to keep quiet when a 19-year-old level serious charges, her father, her uncle, her aunts die in the process. They are not going to wait for the High Court to give its observations, and only then will law enforcement move against Kuldeep Singh Sengar. I do hope they will not keep quiet, unlike these women, when sexual exploitation charges are leveled against Chinmay Anand in Shahjahanpur. I hope they will not keep quiet when elected representatives are disrobed and their clothes are torn in Lakhimpur, unlike these women who did not say a word. I do hope they will not keep quiet when Ankita Bhandari is forced for sexual exploitation, and when she refuses, she's murdered brutally. And to ensure there is no proof that will trace it back to the BJP leader, the entire hotel is bulldozed. I hope they will ask for justice, because these women in our legislatures have not done that. I do hope that the new women MPs are not going to keep quiet when they see India's most decorated athletes being dragged on roads. They have brought us maximum glory. They will not keep quiet when they are dragged on roads, mercilessly beaten up, because they level sexual exploitation charges against one of BJP's MPs. I hope the new members of parliament are going to speak against the BJP, are going to speak against the leadership and say a man like Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, who's charge sheeted for sexual exploitation, cannot be a part of our decision making, cannot be our colleague in parliament. I certainly do hope that the new members of parliament are not going to keep quiet when a Dalit girl, all of 19 years, is raped, murdered, and burnt without the presence of her family at 2:30 in the morning in Hathras. Because these women legislators did not do that. These women legislators did not say that what happened in Hathras was a shame on humanity. It was a blot on being a woman. They did not raise their voice on the fact that there was victim shaming, that the UP police and the UP administration and the BJP leaders continued to say there was no rape. And I do certainly hope that the new legislators, the new MPs who come to parliament are not going to keep quiet when two women are paraded naked in Manipur. I hope they will not keep quiet for 78 days and they will raise the questions to the Prime Minister, to the Home Minister, to the Women and Health Minister, to the women departments in this country. I do hope they will ask, what is our double-engine government doing in Manipur? I do hope they will ask the Women Commission, why did they not lodge a complaint? Because when you elect women, you expect them to speak for other women, to speak for one half of humanity. You expect them to voice their opinion and ask for justice when women are denied justice across the country. You don't expect them to be mute spectators with smiling faces for cameras and not speaking a word for another woman in this country. Women in the BJP who have been elected to parliament, with all due respect to the election, have really let down half the country's population. They did not speak on gruesome crimes. They did not speak on political patronage. They did not speak when women across the country were made to suffer, made to humiliate. And I do hope the Women's Reservation Bill and whoever gets elected is going to change that.